Alright, remember in my weigh-in video where I said I'm gonna make the Flying Nimbus the lightest SC in the world, and its name will be kind of literal, where it will actually be a cloud, as light as a cloud? There's no parts that can help me do that, so I gotta make it myself. So here I have a stock hood that has been sitting in my garage ever since I got the car 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. Holy fuck. Holy crap, this is heavy. Let's talk about SC hoods in general. Stock hood, steel, absolute tank. Weighs like 40-50 pounds. This hood is a carbon hood, but it's not. There are no carbon hoods for the SC. Every carbon hood is just a fiberglass hood with a single layer of either carbon or dyed fiberglass woven on top. You can actually see it right there. That is not carbon fiber. That is fiberglass. And this is a legit D-Max, which is like a good brand. It's a legit D-Max hood, but it is an absolute piece of shit hood. Same goes for whatever other brand. If you think you have a carbon hood on your SC, weigh it. If it weighs more than 12 pounds, it's not a carbon hood. It is a fiberglass hood. People will say like, oh, you know, it's only like a small percentage weight difference. Yes, but carbon fiber is so much stiffer and stronger than fiberglass that you can use less of it. So when you're actually making functional parts, it is way lighter than fiberglass. I want a true carbon fiber hood, which is why I bought everything to make my own carbon fiber hood. So here is my carbon fiber production shelf. Resins, hardeners, mixing cups, release tape, mold putty, rollers, things, flanges, brushes, everything. First thing is gonna be the hood, carbon fiber hood. Then I'm gonna do a carbon fiber trunk, and then a carbon fiber roof skin. Carbon fiber doors, the bumpers, fenders, wide body, all of that is gonna be carbon Kevlar, so it's durable and flexible. So it won't be as light, but it will be able to take a beating. So that is the plan to make this the lightest SC in the world. Even after it's turboed and everything and all that stuff, that all the roll cage, everything, it will still be the lightest SC in the world. So now that I got the whole plan laid out, let's get started. Alright, so I got all of it wet sanded down with 1000 grit. It's already looking a lot better. I sanded through the paint on some of these little chips. I think it'll be easier to sand this down somewhat smooth so that it can easily release from the mold. And then when I have the mold, I will, if there's any bumps or anything visible, I'm gonna fill those in with gel coat and then sand them down flat because I think that would be a lot less work than trying to Bondo this and doing all that shit. So I'm just gonna do it like this. This side is all wet sanded and polished. You can see how shiny it is. Looks good. So now this side I need to remove every single little rubber grommet thing, remove the latch, cut this off, remove all the little plastic trims, everything, all the stickers. Hopefully I can remove the stickers, or maybe I should just mold over them. Yeah, we'll just mold over the stickers, it doesn't matter. Alright, it's the next day. It's even hotter today. It's like 105 outside. It's ridiculous. But I did come in here. I started taking the sticker off, but that was a terrible idea, so I'm not going to take this one off. I cut off the studs that used to be here for the latch cover, and I cut off the latch, and then as you can see, I got all my heavy things sitting on top of this hood here. So I trimmed off the excess glue that was sticking out, and then I reapplied new glue. This is polyurethane, and I'm weighing it down. Hopefully that will reduce these gaps a little bit so I don't have to use so much wax to fill these in. So this worked really well. You see now it's totally solid. It's not flexing anymore. Got the hot glue stick, it's heating up. I got this, I think this is styrene or polypropylene. I don't know what it is. But we're gonna make a flange now. So we're gonna just hot glue it to the inside like this. When I flip over the hood and I start laying down the gel coat and the fiberglass, we're gonna have a nice flange here for excess material so that, you know, we got plenty of room to trim and stuff. So I'm just gonna start putting that on now. Alrighty, got all the all the seams taped up, and then I got the sprayer holes covered up. These are gonna show up in the mold, but I think I can sand it out of the gel coat. So yeah, everything is taped up. We're ready for the wax to fill in all the gaps. And then it's mold release time. All right, so the last step before mold release is this Le Bouteille modeling clay. So this clay is meant for like sculpting stuff, like temporary sculpts. But it's like a waxy clay, and resins and all sorts of stuff don't stick to it, and it also doesn't dry out. And what I'm gonna use it for is creating a fillet or like a chamfer along the seam here so that we don't have a overhang that the gel coat can grab onto, so we don't have a mechanical lock. So I'm just gonna go along the whole edge, around the whole hood, and fill it in with this. I don't know how this is gonna work. I've never done it, obviously, but let's just give it a try and see how it goes. I got everything filleted. You see the angle? It's on an angle like this, so we can't have any mechanical lock. I also wiped off all the excess. There was a little bit of spread, but yeah, looks like we won't have any mechanical lock anywhere. The last step is going to be the mold release, and I'll be using the Free Coat 700. I don't remember where I put it. It's either, I think it's up there. But yeah, next up, mold release. All right, I have applied a bunch of coats of mold sealer and mold release. This is the stuff I use. It's the same stuff I was using for my 3D printed stuff. So this is the mold release, or the mold sealer. And then this is the mold release. So I did 2 coats of the mold sealer, and then I did almost 5 coats of the mold release, with about 5 or 10 minutes in between each one. And the hood is super slippery now. And then I have the gel coat ready. I'm gonna be using about 1.5 quarts of it. They say about 1 quart for 25 square feet. This mold is about 36 square feet, so I'm gonna be using 1.5 quarts. All right, boys. It's time for gel coat. So like I said, doing 1.5 quarts and 12.5 cc's or milliliters of MEKP hardener. The perfect ratio would be 15, but because it's 90 degrees, 88 right now, I'm gonna use less hardener because I don't want this to harden too quickly, because I do have a large hood. I did get a large brush, so hopefully I'll be able to lay it all down before it hardens too much. So let's pour it in, start mixing it. there is definitely no turning back now. I think I got pretty good coverage on everything. Some of the, I don't know, it looks like some of the hood is showing through, but I'm guessing that's my mold release working well. I need to look up the stats on this gel coat, see how long it takes to gel up until it's tacky. So once it's like sticky, that's when you lay on the fiberglass. So I gotta wait for it. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I gotta look up the specs. Once it's tacky, start laying on the fiberglass. I'm gonna grab the fiberglass right now, it's up there, and I'm gonna cut it all to shape. Alright, it's been like a week since I last worked on this because I didn't have enough money to buy more resin. But I finally have some. I bought 3 more gallons. I used about 1 1/3 of a gallon, or 1 1/4 because I used 1 quart of this one. So hopefully this is enough to do the bottom. It probably isn't. I'm probably gonna have to get 1 more gallon. So we're running about 6 gallons of tooling polyester, which is very expensive. So these are like 45 a gallon, I think. So do the math. And then I also bought this woven roving, they call it. This is 18-ounce fiberglass. It's super thick. I don't know if you can see, but it's like cardboard thick. It's super heavy duty. And I laid it on top, so I did one, because it's only 50 inches wide, or maybe 60, I think it's 50. So I did one across this way, then I did a strip over there, and then I did 2 little pieces in the corners right there, and then 1 big piece down the middle, just to make sure that the middle of the hood is really stiff. So I did this last night. I didn't film it because it's the same thing over and over again, but today I should be able to flip this. This isn't sticky or tacky or anything, so I should be able to flip this. Well, got the hood outside, got it flipped over, and also this happened. Fucking sucks, man. So my wife and I were flipping the hood, and when it was like vertical, it slipped, and I caught it with my neck. So fun stuff. But now we can start removing all the flange material, if it will come off. I don't know, actually. We'll see. Will it or will it not? I don't know. All right, so I finally got the flange off. For some reason, on only certain parts of the mold, flange stuck. You see right here? It's all got stuck, and then a couple little spots over there. All right, it's been another week, and I've been making clay. So all the gaps, all the holes, everything is filled in. Filled in the giant gap that was here, all around the edges. And then for these giant holes, I 3D scanned these holes, and then I 3D printed plugs so I didn't have to use like half a pound of clay, because I literally used up the whole brick. So I have no clay left. Also, what I did was these spots, you can probably see in earlier parts of the video, these spots here, they had like a lip that stuck out like that, which was, that would be, the carbon would have to go up, down, up, and then down again, which would not lay. I guarantee you that it won't not lay down. So then you'd be left with a pool of resin here, which is not ideal. So I chopped it off, filled in that little spot there. And now I've just been applying mold release. I don't have enough gel coat because I only have half a gallon right there, but I ordered more. I'm just gonna be doing mold release. I'm gonna make sure to put a lot of mold release, especially in these areas where some of the flange material didn't stick. And then I also added the tape around the edge because I didn't want the gel coat to go into this loose fiberglass. So I'm hoping that I can make a flange a little wider, because that's the main mistake I made, was gel coat was too thin and also not wide enough. So next time, probably on the trunk, I'm gonna make sure to go with the gel coat all the way to the edge of the, what do you call it, the flange material. All right, another week has passed, and I think I'm ready to finally finish this mold. I have applied mold release to the entire surface 3 times. Hopefully that will be enough and everything doesn't stick. I'm not gonna film this because it's the same thing as the top, so just imagine me putting gel coat on this. And then I'm gonna do surfacing veil, which is this stuff, and then the regular fiberglass strand, then the woven woving, and then more of this so it's smooth on top, because this side is really bad. All right, boys, well, the time has finally come to separate the mold. As you can see, this side did not turn out so great. There are a shitload of gaps where I could not get the fiberglass to lay down nicely. So I drilled a bunch of little holes into some of the spots. I'm gonna take some gel coat and I'm just try to squeeze it in there just to schmoo it up a little bit, you know, fill in the gaps. But I think I can separate this now. See, I got the saw here. This has a wood blade on it, but we'll see. Maybe I can cut a nice flange off. So we'll give that a try. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna separate it. Besides a few explosions and tangles, it was totally fine. I got all the edges trimmed off. We got a nice flange going around now. The layers are already separating, I mean the two sides, so let's get a chisel in there, see if we can get it open. I think I made the whole mold too thin. Yeah, this is way too thin, dude. This mold should be rigid, not flexible. That's why I can't get it to separate, because it's just flexing instead of popping off. All right, I'm sorry, I got it popped off camera. But here it is. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's see. Not bad. Actually, not that bad. This spot is really fucked up. I don't know what happened here. What is? Alright, let's see if I can get the hood out. Now I just need to get the strength to get it out somehow. Whew. Oh no! There's some big holes. So as I was saying, since this is a little too flimsy, I'm gonna put the hood on back on the stand, and then I'm gonna place this on top of it, and then just reinforce it some more. I need to put like some bars across it because this is way too flimsy. All right, let's take a look at this. So for the most part, you see, it's pretty good. But then when we look closer, see these little, it's like the gel coat lifted up for some reason. I don't know why that happened. All right, let's look at the underside. The underside is much worse because I did a lot more lifting up of the veil and stuff when I stuck it down. Like bad corners everywhere. Bad. All the edges need to be sanded. Some gel coat missing there. Resin coming through the gel coat. Lifting here. Well, that's actually loose, so that probably didn't have any reinforcement behind it. But like I said, I can just fill all these spots in. Mounting area is decent. These areas are pretty ugly. This one's really bad right here. Gel coat didn't stick. So that's gonna need to be new gel coat added there. At least there's fiberglass right behind it. This is really bad right here. But this gets cut out when the hood is finished, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. All the centers here will get cut out. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna put carbon on the centers. This spot's really bad though. This is going to need a lot of work, a lot of gel coat repair. Yeah, this is not done yet, but I'm going to end the video here because we have a mold for a hood. So like I said, I'm going to be doing some reinforcing, placing the molds back on the hood, clean everything up, and reinforce it just so it's a lot more rigid. I'm going to put a piece of wood across this, and then embed it in the fiberglass and resin so that it gives it some rigidity. Not a 2x4 or anything, but like maybe a 1x1. I got a bunch of 1x1s over here, or 2x2s or whatever they are. It's pretty exciting. Because this was so difficult and so expensive, I'm going to hold off on making the C lighter. I think making more power will just be cheaper right now. It's crazy to say, but making a car lighter past this point of like gutting it and stuff is more expensive than just slapping a couple turbos on. Yeah, maybe in another video I'll tally up how much this all cost. If you want to try this yourself, I'll do a whole list of the whole like build and how this all went. Thank you so much for watching, Ding Dongs. Make sure you buy my stuff so that I can keep doing this because this is very expensive. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace out. Stay sweet, Ding Dongs.
America. Do you have your passport?